This is Rich. A little prelude to the upcoming conversation. I made this video 6 times and kept getting off in the weeds. TMI. And I finally got it down to a very easy to understand wake up call. Wake up. And we're moving along to other things. That's what this is about. See you in a minute. Rich, Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you today? I hope this finds you just doing splendid. Okay. And that you're having a good week so far. Me, on the other hand, I got to be honest with you. They're running me ragged down at work. My part-time job has turned into a full-time job, and we're heading into spring, and kind of bags under the eyes kind of thing. And like tonight, I'll be over here working fairly late in the garage. Yeah. Anyway, enough with my woes. Listen, I went back this morning early. I was having my first cup of coffee, and I'm now working on some more coffee. I filled a thermos. I'm doing good because it's going to be probably a late night. And good stuff. I had went out this morning and re-looked at the porch time that Danny did from over at Deep South Homestead. I believe it was back on the 28th. And I was impressed. I thought I was the only one that lost her political correctness at times, but Danny kind of, let me tell you something. You saw a lot of feeling pouring out of Danny King that day. And it was honest feeling. And it's things that I know that this man believes in. And he understands. And it breaks his heart because he loves you. Okay? Much as we do. And, but I've kind of decided I'll still let you know about the GMO nonsense. But to be quite honest with you, and I'm going to give you a heads up, and I'm just going to let it go at that. If you want to know what's coming at you, go out and take a look at Agenda 21 from the UN. Read The Creature from Jekyll Island. Understand what your Federal Reserve is. Okay? Understand what the Council on Foreign Relations is. Find out everything you can find out about these organizations. Understand. That's it. It's all out there. There's nothing I can tell you that isn't out there. And to be honest with you, when I dwell on it, I start thinking about you. And it worries me. Are you guys going to be prepared? Not my job, man. Okay, I got enough to worry about all on my own. I love you guys and I appreciate you. But I'm going to start shifting over to things like I figured you'd enjoy looking at land with me. And that'll help you. I've got a video in the works right now on if it doesn't haul off and pour down on me, I'll finish that up. On repairing bob wire. I'm going to try to get back to just teaching you things that we do around here. Okay? I will still keep you abreast if I see anything pop up on this GMO radar. And for a lot of you new folks who haven't checked it out, I have a playlist out there that's GMO versus common sense. It's a lot of information, folks. Take the time, go look at it. I mean, you don't have to do it all at once. Okay, I understand you have a life. But kind of work your way down through the playlist, and you will get a lot of information. And even some where I just sit and go, hey, you know, let's talk for a minute. So let's move in that direction. Okay, I'm going to kind of get off of this other stuff because, to be quite honest with you, it concerns me and I understand it. I've studied it for years. I've watched our government for years. I know what they're about. And, you know, I'm not out here to spread fear. Okay, I'll let you go find it out and scare the poop out of yourselves. Okay, so I'm going to try to move on to other things with it. And one of the things that I'm seeing, and I'm talking a lot about it, you've heard me talk a lot about it, is financing. You know, getting your finances in order, get your house in order. That's scriptural number one, folks. Okay, yeah. Even the good Lord knows you ain't going to have a handle on it when things get tough if you're up to your eyeballs in debt and no money in your pockets. Okay. And when you're talking about going into rule settings and things of this nature, let me explain something to you. My trade is in engineering and computers and programming. Out in Las Vegas, I made mid six-figure income. Okay? Made lots of money. And I spent a lot of it frivolously. Truly, I did. And I wished I could claw that back now, but I can't. Because when I came here, whole different ballgame. Nobody's paying even six-figure incomes. Matter of fact, my trade here is about worthless. They don't have that kind of technology here. Places like LA, New York, you know, yeah, they do. Las Vegas. Closest things around me is like Memphis and Tupelo, and no, they don't. Not really. So, you know, you're kind of limited on incomes. Couple that with the fact that I was in my, you know, middle-aged years when I came here. How's that for a pleasant term for I was getting old? um, you know, when businesses are looking to hire somebody, I had a lot of guys tell me, man, you're the most experienced guy we've ever seen. Didn't get a job. Okay. I actually had one guy come out and admit that it was because of my age. I told him, don't be telling people that. You're setting yourself up for a lawsuit. I understand where you're at, but don't be telling people that. Just say, I'll let you know. So, you know, your potential for income could change dramatically from where you're at. I'll take all the things into account because it's going to matter, folks. And, you know, unless you're looking to retire and then go out to a homestead. All I can tell you is, like I said, go out and study the aforementioned things and then decide to yourself if you got the time for that. Okay? You may decide no. Because that's where I was at. This could go south in a heartbeat. And it's time to be able to feed yourself and take care of yourself. So, you know, it's important. Finances are important. Watch what you're seeing out here on YouTube. Okay? I've seen people, we have 5 acres. We're self-sufficient. No, they're not. There is no way. And I think most people who know anything about agriculture, growing food, raising animals, so forth, would look at that statement and go, there's any validity whatsoever to it. There isn't. Okay? So that's like Appalachia's homestead, Patera there. I admire her honesty. At least she comes right out and, yeah, we got a job, we got things, you know, we got other things going on here. But we're working toward that. These people tell me they got 5 acres and they're there. Okay. You'd like to go out and shut off their electric and flatten the air, take all the air out of their tires where they can't go anywhere and say, let's see how long you last. Disconnect their internet. Stupid. Don't buy into it. Okay. Uh, I think Danny down at Deep South Homestead, he's got like 10 acres down there. And I'm sure he would tell you in a heartbeat right now that it handicaps him somewhat now with that little of acres to truly become totally self sufficient. He is blessed with a bunch of vacant land around him that I'm sure if things go south, Danny King would probably go, oh, let me use that too. But these are things that you just need to think about. You see some sites I'm beginning to see that started out as homesteading sites have kind of circled around into little vlogs, and it's silliness. It is silliness. Uh, okay. Let me tell you something. If you're going to live off of small little creatures, you better have a bunch of them and facilities to handle them and process them and yada, yada, yada. Folks, self sufficiency comes with acreage. Okay. Can somebody do it with 10 acres? I'm going to revert that one back to Danny and at Deep South Homestead. And while he does miraculous things with the land he has, I also know that he thinks that it is a handicap to him. Too few acres. At one time, he had 40 acres. He'd like to have that back right about now. Okay. 20 acres, you could sustain your family. If you're looking to make money, you're going to need double that. And maybe even triple it or quadruple it. Making money requires land. That's the end of the story. Okay? Now, yeah, you might be able to sell a few vegetables and things of this nature, but that's not going to pay many bills, and it's not going to supplement what you need to eat, or salt or flours or things of this nature. So keep these kind of things in mind, folks, and start looking at what alternatives can I do to sugar if I don't want to have my sugar sprayed down with Roundup herbicide and be feeding it to my family. Maybe you want to raise some sugar beets. Maybe you're in an area that you can raise sugar cane. Get yourself a press. All sorts of different options. Look for them. See, that's where your gears need to be turning. But remember first, you need good land that you can make very productive. Now, the side of a mountain ain't gonna work. Okay? If it's all downhill slope, forget about it. Okay, that's one to look at and go, okay, let's go look at something else, please. If it's all rock, pass on it. Okay? Look for good fertile soil. Look for places in valleys and hollows. You'll find you weather droughts better. Your livestock will do better. These are things you need to be aware of and start concentrating on. Not this silliness going on out here at YouTube. Because this is serious business if you really are trying to get out and become self-sufficient. You don't have time for games. I watch some of them just for nothing more than to chuckle. It's like y'all don't even get it. I keep saying the same things over and over again. You hear it repeated by people like Patera and Danny and many others. You can't be living the consumer lifestyle of today's America and get the wherefore-all, really, the average family. Now, there's probably some, but the average family, to be able to put back the cash and so forth that you're going to need to get out on your land without carrying a huge mortgage and stuff like that. And big mortgages on your homestead is not a good idea. So live frugally, cut back. Got new cars, get rid of them. You know, you don't need all these high-tech fancy appliances. Get rid of them. Yeah. You don't need Xboxes, PlayStations, and big screen TVs. Not having those is not going to take 1 second off of your life. Okay? Not 1 second. As a matter of fact, having them is a huge disadvantage to your children because instead of reading, they're watching the boob tube or playing the Xbox. And believe it or not, there's not a lot of educational quality programming on television. But what about PBS? That is so much propaganda, it's pathetic. To be honest with you. They'll put anything up there and call it fact. And when they started doing stuff like that, and believe me, I'd watched PBS since I was a kid. And it used to be halfway quality programming. But in the late 60s and in the 70s, it began to change. And now it's like watching CNN, okay? With old bones. Their documentaries. Understand that. Understand who they are and where they're coming from. So no, it's not worthwhile. Get a book. You think it's a good idea for your children to learn about history? Give them a good set of books on history. Not school books, for God's sakes, especially the current ones. Let your children read. Let them play games with one another. Let them play games with you. Let them spend time talking to you. Share your values with your children. It works. But step one is to turn off that big propaganda box that most people have sitting in their living room. Turn it off. And there's a way you can get some more money back. Because if things go bad, folks, ain't nothing but a paperweight. Won't feed your family. Won't help you in any way. And maybe that's what you need to start thinking about. In what way does this benefit my family? Entertainment? Really? That's a benefit? Most people see that as the dumbing down of America. Sure worked for the Romans. They were sitting in the Colosseum when the barbarians came through. Yeah, at least they had them rounded up. You gonna be sitting in front of your TV when they come knocking at your door? Oh yeah, wait till the commercial. I'll be right there. Mm-hmm. Wake up. Get rid of that stuff. Live frugally. You're gonna live frugally out on your land. I hear these people, oh, we'll do tiny house and no utilities and off-grid and yada, 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 yada. And their house, you see in the background when they're telling you all this stuff, the TV's going, the fans are going, all the lights are on, yada, yada. You know, it's like, okay, you really think you're going to make that big of a change of lifestyle? Change it now. Turn it off. Go off-grid. Get yourself some kerosene lights. Go to bed early. Save on electric. Cut that bill down to $50 a month. Yeah. Leave the thermostat turned down to 60 degrees. Hey, you will not freeze to death. You'll probably wear sweatpants and socks to bed, but you will not freeze to death. Okay? But you'll save a truckload of money during the winter. All kinds of things you can do. Start thinking, folks. This is not a game. Many has turned it into a game. So have turned it into a viable income. And I'm just hoping to pay for a camera. I get enough money to pay for a camera. So goes the ads. Shh, don't tell YouTube, okay? But, yeah. Start thinking, folks. Time's short. I keep telling you. And it's up to you to go find it out. There are people who put plans in place to enslave you and your family. They're moving on their plans. Are you? preparing for? Or are you just sitting around talking about it? You better figure out what you're doing. A little like a ostrich sticking its head in the sand at a sign of danger. They might feel better for a while, but they would have been better off with their head out of the ground, looking around, and running like crazy if need be. That's my hope for you guys. Get your head out of the ground. Start looking around, really. Okay? And learn. Homestead is tough. Especially if you require at homestead to feed your family for a year. Tough road to hoe. You're going to learn that. And all the chatter that you do out here on YouTube is going to matter. Unless you're looking to learn. How do I do this? And that, my friend, is what you need to be doing. Asking questions and learning. And if you do those things, you'll do just fine. Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you. Tried to stay positive with this one. And like I said, I'm pretty much done with the warnings. If y'all, most of my subscribers get it, I think. And if not, there's nothing more I can do to wake you up. Get your head out of the sand. Let's move on to other things. Next videos you're going to see is like fixing fences and repairing water lines and working on vehicles. God love you. This is Tennessee Homestead. Hope this finds you having a wonderful, wonderful week. And if you're not having a wonderful week, I'm going to come hunt you down now. Get out there and do it. Put a smile on your face and get with it. We'll talk to you later.